this works on it. It should, but you never know. Okay, so now I need to open up the intro because I'm still needing to put that together. Okay, I have this. I'm going to delete the episode tile in here from last time. There is something sticky on my keyboard table thing. It is bothering me so much. Go away. Go away. I can't handle that. Can't handle the stickiness. Okay. Focus, Francisco. Mixer. All right. So now we need to bring up my my text-to-speech app thingamabob. Yes, that's a technical term. Thingamabob. I'm surprised you didn't know that. Okay, yeah, right there. Let's close that. Need this one. There's going to be air. Whoa, why are you typing backwards? What in the world? What did I do? It's literally typing backwards, and I have no idea why. What did I do to make you type it backwards? Did I hit insert or something? Insert, is that it? No. Why are you typing back? I can't type it backwards. Oh, good lordy. Refresh this. I don't know what I did. It's very strange. There we go. Now it's going forward. So weird. Okay. Airplane. Exclamation point. 1980. So that's all I need to do. Now I'm going to play it, make sure I can hear it. I can't hear it. That's the wrong thing. Play. All right, that's the right thing. Okay. Hearing the right thing now. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm going to record that. Oh, that's way too high. Okay, recorded at about 26, I think. I'm going to solo the track so it doesn't pick up everything else. I'm going to make it so it goes out to the audio. Now I'm going to hit arm that track. Hello? Oh, okay. I'm going to mute me so you won't be able to hear me for a second.
Airplane. 1980. Powered by iSpeech.
Now I'm back, so you should be able to hear me. Hey, Ashley, am I the first one here? You are. Unless someone's here and Redeemed Otaku now says claims first. I don't know. I saw Ashley's comment first. But Bex, you were the first. You're the first, second one here. Yeah, we'll go with that. How are you both doing tonight? Hopefully well. Dang, yeah, so close, so close. Got the silver. I that's one of those things I always, hey, Neko. Meow, I'm here. Welcome, Neko. It's always been a conundrum for me if silver or bronze is worse. I mean, with silver, it's like you were like, who knows, like millimeters away or like milliseconds away from first. And to lose it by such a slim margin seems like it'd be like gut-wrenching. While bronze is like, well, I made the top 3. That's not too bad. Not too shabby. Of course, you're still like not as good as the number 2. So I don't know. For me, I think I'd rather the bronze than the silver if I can't get the gold. But what do you guys think? Super tired. It was a hectic day. I hear that. My whole family, me and the kids were all tired for some reason at the end of the day. Tomorrow is going to be really challenging day. So I don't know if that's sort of in my headspace, so it's making me tired. But yeah, Nico says bronze because it's a lesser metal. So you'd like it because it's a lesser metal? And let's see. Tai Tenkamuro. Hello, how are you doing on the YouTube side? Nice to see you here. I'm currently recording the intro thing before I'm going to invite actually the guys here in a second. But I'm just getting the intro, like Alice recording going. I had not had a chance to do that today, so I'm getting that prepped. All right, so let me hear this now. I think you guys will all be able to hear this. Let's see.
flux capacitor fluxing. Crew distinctions. Scanning for
Airplane
1980.
All right, good.
Prepare to rewind
I can just
in
delay that a little bit.
3,
And it's a little quiet. Can I raise that some? Just a smidge, I think. Just like 1 decibel. Okay, so we're going to pause that. We're going to render it out. Render as 28. This is episode 228. Oh my goodness. Not 2,228 or 2,288. This is airplane intro. Airplane intro. Save it as a wave. Render to intros. Let's see. Ashley says, I just wanted to make sure I dropped to wish the podcast well before I went to bed. I'm channeling a little old lady bedtime tonight. I'll have to catch the podcast. You know what, Ashley? Something in my dislikes makes me feel like I'm going to be channeling an old crotchety man. So I can empathize with that. Let's see. But thank you so much, Ashley. Lord God, please may Ashley have a good rest tonight. May she feel recuperated for tomorrow. May she be able to sleep in and just have a nice, refreshing weekend, Lord God. Thank you for her being here, being a part of this community. I pray protection and provision over her and that she'd pursue you more and more each day. And look forward to the next time we can hang out and stream together. Amen. And also tomorrow night, I may be not having a stream. Just a heads up to everyone. I may just be canceling it. That remains to be seen, but it's likely I'll cancel it. Cardinal says, hello, Francisco and Rewinders. Hello, Cardinal. Let us in. You want to be a part of this, Paul? Is that what you want? Fine. I guess I can let you be a part of this. I guess. I just realized though, you guys are talking up a storm over here. Hold on. See, I know that food poisoning can actually be really serious. Oh no, who has food poisoning? Wait, I'm very confused. No, I don't want that. Copy this. Okay, there's the link to Paul and D-Tungsten and everyone else. Bobo. Let's see. Cellcast says, good evening. Good evening. What's the actor from Star Wars? He was Han Solo. That's Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford was Han Solo. So what else is new, Francisco? Bex, you know what? Yeah, I think that speaks for itself. Guys are saying goodnight to Ashley. Ashley says, praying you'll have a great recording and wonderful night. Take care, everyone. Thank you, Ashley. You too. You guys are saying good night to Ashley. Good evening to all of you. Are you leaving also, Redeemed? If you are, just make that clear, and I'd love to pray for you. I'm just not sure if you're just saying good evening, like a general good evening, or good evening like you're leaving. Why does he look like Harrison Ford? That's his name. No, his name is Robert Hayes. I can see a vague resemblance to Harrison Ford, but that's a different person. Let's see. Okay, so I'm getting this prepped. So it's clipping a little bit, so I'm going to actually decrease the volume. I increased a little bit on that, but I'm going to decrease it just a smidge. Let's just make it that. Okay, now render one more time. Render as the airplane intro, render file. I'm behind tonight, guys. It's just a thing. Paul, isn't it a thing?
Yeah. But I'm echoing. That's how far behind you are.
Okay, that should be better now. You should not be
Chuck.
echoing now.
Yeah. Where's the other guys? They're not in yet?
I don't know. They're coming. So did someone have food poisoning? In the Discord, I saw someone said food poisoning is serious.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so does someone have it?
Sure. I'm sure there's lots of people that have it.
That's not what I mean.
At any given time.
Oh my gosh. I mean,
like right now.
People joining us for the podcast.
Oh, that's cool. I hope they can relax and enjoy the show while they're, we can take their mind off the food poisoning, but you keep bringing it up.
Wow. Let's see. Is that D-Tungsten himself? Hey, D-Tungsten.
Hey. It looks that way.
So I totally dropped the ball on asking you, D-Tungsten, if you're able to record just your audio by itself and then send me that file afterwards. Is that...
Yeah, let me see. Hold on.
Okay. Geek Devotions, ahoy to you, Geek Devotions. We're still getting set up here. Like I've been saying, I'm very, very far behind with everything going on. Also, my mind is very preoccupied, so if this is not the best recording, it is all on me.
As long as your vocals sound good, then it's okay.
My vocals are fabulous.
Well,
as is my fabulous fan fiction. What was with this lighting, Paul? That's so cool.
oh, thank you.
I like it.
I'm testing it out, seeing what
Focus.
what works and what doesn't work.
Okay, I need to put this.
Since my I can't use my snap cam filters anymore. It's so frustrating.
Oh, why can't you? It's not
Every
working?
time that I try to use it and I go to restream, it says that my camera's being used by another source, even though I select the snap cam as the source.
Oh man, that bites.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's fine.
What am I doing? Francisco, focus.
Don't worry, we have plenty of time. Detungsten has a hard out in an hour, but that's fine.
Oh, you do? Detungsten?
No, I don't.
Paul. Airplane intro, open. Upload that so I can get on my phone. Where's Bobo at?
Hot air balloons glowing. We have plenty of time. 12 hours later. That's right.
Yes, exactly, Neko.
Almost 8 o'clock in the morning.
12 hours. Why are hot air balloons glowing, Geek Devotions? I guess I missed that.
Well, he's replying to Cardinal Paladin.
Oh, okay.
You put the intro in the scratch pad?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. You guys can
all right.
Whatever. It'll be a memento for you.
Now we can download it.
Yeah.
And make it ours.
Oh my gosh. Oh, by the way, Drew Cellcast reached out to me.
Test.
Yeah,
I
we
hear
can
testing.
you. Can you hear? Are we showing up in your wave though? Oh, there's Bobo.
Yeah, that was me testing the record. It looks like it's working.
Awesome. Hey, Bobo.
Hi there. Was somebody talking about Memento? Are we doing this review backwards?
That would be sweet. First, let's uncrash into an airport.
What I was gonna say was, that
something about Cellcast.
Yeah, he is saying because he's working on like a story element for their stuff. Sorry if I'm outing that Cellcast and people aren't supposed to know, but asking where our base is, and I'm trying to figure out, do I want to make it something cheeky like it's on the corner of 88th Street and like Hill Valley Avenue, or
well, you can't use both.
Serious?
Either one of those and another time element movie. You know what?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
It's at Lone Pine Mall.
Lone Pine Mall. Yeah, that'd be interesting. That's
or No Pine Mall. Depends on how many times you go back and knock them out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're still working on that, Drew, if you're there.
What's the name of the mall of Stranger Things? Anyway, it's probably not.
Oh, yeah, with the ice cream shop.
remember.
Yeah, I forget. Okay. Jeez Louise, Francisco.
Basically, just wants to know if it's on Earth.
Earth.
Yes, in the year 20XX.
20XX.
See, I don't know if it's at Earth or some sort of like time space station vortex.
Oh, on the inside of the moon.
I guess you know
so
what? No,
dark it's on the inside of the moon.
Wow. No, I think it would have to be either on Earth or maybe a moon. It would have to be on some sort of planetary body. And then, because the whole thing wouldn't be a time travel device, because then why'd you need the pod? So, let's say...
The pod gets us places.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and in the time jump, the base is roughly 600 miles from Valhalla. Yeah, something like that. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Download this. Baba, are you able to record just your audio on your end?
I could.
Please do. I'm so sorry, guys. I did not prep you guys for that. Thank you so much for being flexible and rolling with the punches.
Who said we're flexible?
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll with my punches later. So.
You're demonstrating flexibility, Paul, so I imagine you're flexible.
Oh.
That's what I mean by that.
I like how my
Tungsten, would you
parents are
prefer? I'm going to introduce you as Eric Olson, but would you prefer Tungsten throughout for the most
Yeah,
part?
I'm used to it since like my avatars usually says Tungsten or Drake, so I'm like used to that on like Twitch and stuff.
Okay,
but yeah, obviously
that's fine. So
yeah,
because I mean I always have to refer to Paul as pauljpowers.com now, so it's
yeah,
quite the mouthful.
right. Yeah. You could just say Drake. That's a lot shorter.
Yeah,
That's true, but like I always call you Tungsten on stream, so I almost feel like I'm committed to that now.
Okay. Yeah, I know. It's like I do that, and it's like I should have put it Drake in when I did my Twitch username.
Yeah, geez. Why do you make it so hard
you're
for me?
stuck.
Wait.
It's not like you can change those things.
Yeah, you can't, Paul. It's impossible. You can't.
jpowers.com. I know.
Yeah. My YouTube one does say Drake, so.
Oh, okay, nice. All right,
Does Drake know he took your name?
Oh my word! Stop clicking.
Yeah, I was wondering what that clicking was. I thought it was maybe on my end.
No,
I'm not clicking.
No, it is me, guys.
what's the matter?
Lots lost in matter, Paul. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay. Minimize
Is it me or
this.
is Francisco frozen?
I'm not frozen.
That's
from
you.
No.
me.
That's me? Darn.
That's you.
Yeah.
I'm
All right, let me see if I can redo
I'm
some of my
moving.
sources.
This. Need that.
I wonder what will happen if
Picked the wrong day. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's Lloyd Bridges.
Yes. Lloyd Bridges. By this time, my lungs were aching for air.
Who did that?
It was Lloyd Bridges.
I know. Oh, was that you, Tungsten?
Oh, I said it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Do you want to do the intro? Here, can you say this? Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop listening to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast. But in you're Lloyd Bridges.
Let's see if I can do.
How much are you gonna pay him?
He doesn't have to pay me anything, but I appreciate
Peanuts. Would you like peanuts?
That. I do like peanuts actually.
Oh, there you go.
I find them quite tasty. Looks like I picked the wrong day. To forget the rest of the line.
To stop
Looks like
listening to this episode.
To
of
stop
Retro-
listening to okay.
Yeah, I'll
Looks
put
like
it
I
in
picked it. Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop listening to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
I feel like that sounds better than mine. So there it is in the private chat, just in case you want to refer to it. But do you mind doing the
Yes.
intro?
No, I don't mind.
Awesome. Then perfect. Then we'll have you do that. Let's see. Let me make sure I got these in.
Is my volume okay, or do you want me louder?
I haven't even gotten there yet. I will get there.
Okay.
Thank you, Baba, for saying something. So I will go through the pre-show checklist. I just want to make sure I got your how I'm introducing you, Babo, and it doesn't look like I do. Yeah. So Babo, I don't know if you responded. How did you want to be introduced?
Yeah, I forgot to get back down that. Yeah, I couldn't think of anything really good or clever. If you want to just
Owner of
say-
all the VHSs.
owner of all the VHSs in the world, former. Yeah, you can mention the editing thing if you want, and just say that I am considered by many.
I like that.
Okay. Board. Additionally, we have back aboard a collector of all VHSs. Okay. Just editor. Like after the podcast or like before we start?
Hmm?
You said considered by many, Babo?
Yep.
Okay. Oh my gosh, just considered by many. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, got that. Yeah, I'm gonna delete that. Thank you, Paul. Okay. No, yeah.
I actually have legal right to all of Cellcast's VHSs. I didn't have the
That's-
heart to tell him. You can
That
hold
is
on to them.
impressive.
You can hold on to them for now, though. I don't need them.
Eric, let me go ahead and before we get into all this. Well, no, that's at the end. So never mind. Let me do audio check. Okay, Paul, can you tell me about your day, please?
Is he there? He might have been trying to fix something.
Keep going, Paul. I know. I don't know why. It just is. Okay. You're good now. D Tungsten, can you tell me something about what happened in your day while I check your audio levels compared to Paul?
What am I? It was hot. It was very hot here. It got up to I think 97 degrees Fahrenheit, which is yeah. That's very hot for here too. It's not like I don't live in Arizona or anything.
Yeah. Okay, I think you might be fine. Let me see how Bobo is. I may have Paul either lower himself, or you raise yourself depending on how Bobo is. So Bobo.
I think many people would say that Paul lowers himself whenever he's on the show. Not
Wow.
Can
you guys all hear Paul?
I can't see or hear Paul.
Really? I hear Paul.
He is completely blank on my thing,
Paul,
and I don't.
How
hear
about
him.
you leave and come back? Okay.
I think he made an adjustment because he said you were frozen to him before.
Oh yeah. So here's what I'm gonna have. Eric, can you or D-Tungsten, can you raise your gain by like 3 dB?
Yeah, let's see.
Paul is blank and quiet. Okay, hopefully this will fix Paul. Okay,
One, two, can you hear me?
Hello.
I can hear you.
Can you see me?
That'll fix him all right.
I can see you. Bobo, can you hear and see Paul?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So redeemed, Cardinal, let us know, Cellcast, if you can hear and see Paul now.
Yeah.
Or Arnold.
Hi, how are you? I'm very happy to be here.
Great.
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimball have to go to the bathroom. Nothing.
You look a little nervous back there, Francis.
Yeah, I know, right? I can see and hear him now. Thank you, Redeemed. Thank you, Bex. Okay.
And thank you, Drew, for pointing that out.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I can now see and hear him, though it looks like he's next to a fire. He is next to a fire. That's exactly
nice and
right.
warm.
Okay, tweak that up a little bit. Is that better?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. One more time, Paul.
This is Paul Powers checking
One more
in.
time, Bobo.
Hello. What do you need from me now?
Just to check that. Thank you.
Okay.
Can you?
Yes, we can.
No, Bobo. Can you just raise yourself just a smidge? I think if you were talking right into your mic, you'd be fine. But since you're going against it, or if you want to move it closer, that'd be fine too.
Okay. This thing gets touchy sometimes, so is it okay now, or is that better?
That is better.
Right there.
Thank you.
Right there's good.
Let's
Okay.
go with that. Yeah. Okay. Fantastic. I'm gonna just.
Little known fact, it's actually my arm is on fire, my right arm.
Oh,
It's-
dear.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
you're like the Human Torch arm.
That's what the flickering is.
Yeah. I tried to put it out by dumping liquid on it. I didn't know it was gasoline. It started on my finger, and we'll see by the end of the episode how far it goes.
Wow. Okay. Let's see here. So we got that. So we got the audio levels. Bobo or G Tungsten, do you have a time you have to be done by? You can't go past XYZ time.
No, not really.
Nope. I got nothing on tomorrow, so I can be up till whenever.
Sweet.
You say that now.
Do either of you have spiritual speculation topics for this? I didn't, so
You know,
I was
shockingly,
gonna
I
say-
came up with nothing.
I
What
thought
is
of
it?
like one thing, but it's not.
Okay.
It's not really.
that's fine.
It's
better
kind of-
than zero, like I have. Hey, Star.
Yeah, it's kind of weak, but it's not really a very spiritual movie.
Yeah, I mean sometimes those weak sort of topics spin us up into a lot of interesting dialogue. So that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, Elise, for having a story in place for us.
Great. Let's talk about Calvinism versus Arminianism then.
No, it's not. There's none of that.
If we run out of things.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
What is your interpretation of the entire book of Revelation?
wow.
There's
Okay.
a lot in there to unpack. That's
Yeah, we got time. That's
my interpretation. There's a lot to unpack.
All right. We'll have to go deeper in that since nobody claimed they had a heart out.
Wow. Cellcast says all those religious folks at the airport that Robert Stack punches isn't worth some spiritual speculation.
I know. I was trying to think.
Yeah, them and the Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
guys.
That's kind of one idea I was thinking about.
Well, that's not.
But-
Do you
Star Fox
believe in
Ashley
reincarnation?
left.
And
She
if you
had to
do,
check
how
it
many
earlier.
times have you been punched by people at the
Oh,
airport?
my word.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Yeah. How have you been persecuted for your faith? There you go. Anyway,
Oh, that's an
Before-
interesting question. You should bring that up.
so do you happen to have in front of you, and if not, I can put in the chat,
Who?
D Tungsten, the
Okay.
oath for our new guests. We have them read.
Oh
a-
yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I think I can bring it up in the. It's in
oh,
the. It's in the guest info, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Put your hand on your heart and close your
Let
eyes.
me bring it up.
No.
I'll bring it up on my phone, so it's like my little crib sheet.
Perfect.
Okay.
Arnold.
Does he sound lower? To me, he
He
sounds
does sound
lower.
a little. He does sound a little quiet. Yes.
Yeah, why is that?
Let me know when you're ready, and I'll hit record for that little blurb.
Maybe
Okay.
he's getting tired. You've been using that soundbite for almost a year now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
Go ahead.
I, Eric Olson, give permission to Francisco Ruiz and the Retro Rewind podcast to use my voice and vocal commentary recorded within the Retro Rewind podcast and in a past, present, and future recordings of the Retro Rewind podcast in any and all media in perpetuity without any restrictions and with no expectation to receive compensation now or in the future as it relates to any past or present or future and or future recordings of the Retro Rewind podcast. Is that good enough?
Perfecto.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Except I don't know who Francisco Riz is.
Yeah, I said it
I thought
kind
it
of
was-
fast.
I thought it was Francisco Rizza. Wasn't he part of
Rizza?
Wu Tang?
Rizzo.
Yes.
You guys are hilarious. Okay, let's go ahead and have you all. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Wow, that's a big Paul forehead. Give me a thumbs
Sorry.
up if you're ready to hit record on your
No,
own.
there's a couple
computer
things I told you I need to
devices.
go over.
Oh
with,
yeah,
so
okay,
there's
go for
not.
it, Paul.
All right,
I already
first-
hit record.
all right. You,
Oh, so
I can unhit it and re-hit it too.
Yeah,
unhit it,
unhit it.
because when you send me the file, I want not to have to like look
right,
for where
right.
it's-
No,
yeah.
you want to, yeah.
Yeah, hit it to quit it. Yeah.
hit it to quit it.
All right,
Paul, what
it
are your
is-
questions?
All right.
Clear.
All right. First
Not a
of all, I want to see if this works. I'm going to take a screenshot so everyone smile at the camera. All right. Second of all, boy, I hope these sounds are working. So normally I don't tell you what sound effect I'm going to play in the middle,
Yeah.
but I wanted your opinion on this one. So in this, it's going to be this part.
Oh, Woz, thank you for the raise.
Oh, was.
Hello? 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 Echo. Echo.
Now I can stop it there, or I can continue with.
Pinch hitting for Pedro
Yeah.
Borbon. Manny Mosa.
I feel like just stop it before that. It goes on a bit too long.
Yeah,
So,
but that's where the laughs came in.
oh my gosh, fine,
Yeah.
do the whole thing. Let's see how we're feeling. Just we'll feel it out, okay?
What are you gonna do? Okay, Paul, stop it there.
And he's got to call Edna mode. And it's a whole
Edna
thing.
mode, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why I was trying to do it ahead of time, but
All right.
no.
Well, I gave you my opinion, and then you went against it. So what do you want from me?
I want your opinion to make sense.
Owaz, again, thank you so much for the raid. Everyone that came over with Owaz, this is the Retro Rewind pod. Tonight we're recording our live podcast of the Retro Rewind podcast, where we review movies and games that are 15 years or older. Tonight we're covering Airplane! From 1980, the comedy movie. So if we're going to talk about the things we liked about, things we didn't like, and whether or not it's still worth your time today. We have an awesome group of gents here. We got Paul, my
jpowers.com.
PaulJPowers.com, my co-host. We also have Bobo and D Tungsten joining us. So glad you're here. Good to see some names with faces. Yes, indeed. Owaz. So this should be a lot of fun.
Sometimes it's disappointing, and I'm sorry for that.
Or that's wow.
Everyone saw Loki, right?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Oh, but that has Owen Wilson in it, right?
Yeah.
Does he do his wow?
No, people are hoping that he'll eventually do it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, yeah, because it's a series. Let's see. Okay, so give me a thumbs up when you're ready to turn on your recording.
I'm gonna need a minute. Sorry, hold on, guys.
So is Bobo sour or ours? I think tonight it's ours. That's our Bobo.
So
Isn't that
far,
up for
yes.
him to decide?
I'm our Bobo until we get to the Indiana Jones stuff.
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Hold on.
Were you able to watch that?
Spoilers.
D Tungsten?
I didn't. Which one was I supposed to watch? I didn't.
Okay, no worries.
I didn't get the instructions on it, so I was.
Yeah, well, because I think because I didn't send it to you, or I included it in the Discord chat, but that was
There weren't any
before-
clear
after you had
instructions.
said you weren't going to do it. So thank you for. I'm glad it worked out for you to be on, especially since
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
listening
yeah.
to be on. So for that part, don't worry about it. It's just
Okay.
you saved yourself an hour and a half of your life. That I'm sure you used
Yes.
more
Or
efficiently.
did you? Maybe you need to go back and revisit it.
Yeah. I watched the series, the Young Indiana Jones series.
There you go.
you did?
I'm sorry.
When it
Well,
was
you might-
when it was in
When
first
it aired,
run.
the first,
Yeah,
not-
yeah.
That's an incredible feat because
That
they-
is-
I didn't watch all of it, every single episode.
Oh,
But
I was gonna say they kept changing
watched-
times and
Yeah.
even channels. Like when it would.
yeah,
Wow.
I watched as much of it as I could when it was on because
Yeah.
I was actually into it then.
Nice.
Cool.
But yeah, some of the
All
episodes
of
were
it
not
was, yeah.
were not that great.
Yes.
Well, we'll talk about it on
Let me
this
know when you're ready,
episode
Paul.
of the Retro
Yeah.
Rewind podcast. Okay, now I'm ready to
So thumbs up if you're ready to just hit record. We're not necessarily starting yet.
don't start hitting record.
Don't. Okay, I'm gonna on mark hit record. 5, 4, 3,
Mark.
2, 1. Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Okay. Oh, hi, Mark.
Every time is that
Where's
thing
Mark?
now?
Yes.
Oh golly sakes. Okay,
Well, especially since we have Bobo here, who actually knows what that's from.
I know it's from The Room.
Okay.
Just because I haven't seen it doesn't mean I don't know where it's from.
Well, at one point you didn't. I didn't know if you remembered.
Fair. That's fair. What if it is a low mark? Oh my gosh.
Low mark.
I already have 3 Yahoos here and plenty in chat. So
And
yeah, why
Cardinal
not you
Paladin
add to it? Just
Wants
add
to
it,
know,
yeah.
wonder which was worse in the Switch, Young Indiana Jones or Firefly?
Oh, I don't
I don't know what he means by in the Switch.
But just moving it around schedule wise.
Oh,
Oh,
both.
Mm.
Young
Probably
Indiana
both.
Jones, because it was on Sunday nights and then it was on other days, and then it moved from ABC to the Family Channel, and
yeah,
and some of the episodes didn't even air.
right.
So Young Indiana
I
Jones.
think I went to watch. I think I looked at Firefly and said, "Oh, that looks interesting," and then I went to watch it, and it had been canceled.
Aw,
Jeez.
that's sad.
That is sad.
I was like, "Oh, that looks neat. Let me check that out." Oh,
Right?
it's gone.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we're ready to go, guys. So D Tungsten, do you want to prep your voice one more time for Lloyd Bridges?
Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop listening to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Awesome. I found it out after the fact. Oh, yeah. I had vaguely remembered it, like seeing something about it, but I never watched it in its run. So I think we're gonna go ahead and start, guys. So everyone in chat, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully you enjoy the show.
Okay.
We don't interact with chat that much unless like I usually make the flub, and so we go to something called Edna mode. Thank you, Paul. And then at that time, sometimes we'll interact. We also have a place where you can share, okay, how well did you think this movie did in the box office? So feel free to interact at that point. But for the most part, it's just going to be us chatting. But hopefully it's fun nonetheless. I'm going to go ahead and say a quick prayer over us before we start. Lord God, thank you so much for this time together. Thank you for us getting to record this podcast. And I pray everyone who either watches it live, hears it live, or listens / watches it after the fact would have more joy at the end of it by the time that we reach its end than they did when they first started watching. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys.
Now we're having fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
The
that's
bite
right,
meter
guys.
is down right now.
Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah.
We need
Right
Team Womp to come up and
Ah,
right now.
I got the pillows, you know.
Oh, I got to update it already. All right.
I didn't. They're in the living room, but
nice.
Want to go
I
get
could run
them?
and get them if you want.
It's up to you. But we're about to start,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
so
Well, let's.
no dice.
Yeah.
I could
All
take
right.
a. You know, if you want me to take a break.
Thumbs up if you're
Yeah.
ready to go. Where's my camera at? There we go. All right, so I think everyone's ready except for Paul. So we'll just wait for Paul.
Paul
And
lost
then-
his head.
I will.
Yeah.
I'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2.
I'm trying to get my
Point.
sounds to work better. Sorry.
Oh, I think it's fine, Paul. I can always like make those louder and stuff in the final mix too.
Okay.
So it's not the end of the world.
Because I have a
but-
couple to be playing during the. That's all.
Okay,
It's not for the Arnold. It's for the show.
got it.
You know, and Arnold's here for the show. So come on, let's go. All right, I think I'm ready.
Okay, cool. Then we'll go ahead and start here. And let me get to the right place. Let me take one more drink of water.
We all have beverages.
Wait for it.
Who, Paul? Real quick in our little intro after my little spiel. Who am I channeling? And am I channeling Leslie Nielsen or Robert Hayes, or someone else, or one of the stewardesses?
Just be yourself, and I'll be myself, and it's
All
just
right,
like
that's
we're
fine.
just going to use our joke. You know,
Okay.
we'll just use their joke.
That works. That works. Okay, here we go. In 5, 4, 3.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop listening to this episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Reflux capacitor. Fluxing. Crew to stations. Scanning for airplane. 1980. Prepare to rewind in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome, rewinders and new listeners, to the Retro Rewind podcast, where we take a fresh look at movies and games from 15 years ago. I'm your captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz, and I'm joined by your XO and mine, Paul, the master interrupter, powers out.
Thank you.
Are you nervous?
Yes.
First time?
No, I've been nervous lots of times.
All right. Also, for this discussion of the film Airplane, we welcome aboard for the first time, maybe he's also nervous too, a Star Trek DS9 analyst, a fan of video games, and amateur astronomer, Eric Olson, a.k.a. D. Tungsten. Welcome, D. Tungsten.
Hello, it's great to be here.
Glad it's great to have you here as well. In addition to Eric, we have back aboard a collector of all the VHSs, like all of them. You think your VHS is safe? No, he will have it soon enough. He's also a former podcast editor and considered by many David Bobke, a.k.a. That's Our Bobo. Hey, Bobo.
Hello, and I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I hope to hear that more than once.
Yeah.
Wow. Now that you all have a quick flyby of who we are, Paul, can you give us a quick overview of the production specs for Airplane?
Okay, hold on. But I was about to say, hold on to your seats and buckle them up. I don't know. Put your tray in your upright position. We're about to take off because Airplane was released July 2nd, 1980, runs an hour and 28 minutes, and is rated PG. Really? Interesting. It was written and directed by J.J. Abrams. Sorry,
What?
no, that's Jim Abrahams. And also with the help of Mark Zuckerberg. No, wait, that's David and
gosh.
Jerry Zucker. With lead stars being Robert Hayes, Julie Haggerty, and Leslie Nielsen. The music was composed by Elmer Bernstein. And are you ready for the box office trivia game?
Let me pause you right there. I'm hearing something, a little electric static. I don't know if it's me or one of you guys. So Edna Mode, yes, you can do the thing. Hey, an LCast. Seriously,
Love it.
Seriously, Bobo. Wow, you're taking trolling to a completely new level.
I gotta update the fight meter.
Yes.
Okay, so I want.
Hey, Francisco, let it go. Let it go.
Help me, Paul. So one by one, I'd like it. First off, actually, let me just mute you all and see if it is coming through one of you guys. So just
All
a
right.
second. Oh, is it that? Oh,
It's me.
no, it's my phone. It's the soundboard.
Oh, I hate that.
So let me see if I can fuddle with it. Fuddle with it? Yeah, fuddle with that.
Oh, I was right. They did not have PG-13 back then.
I did hear a clicking.
Yeah, no, I get that. No.
PG-13 came about due to Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and I think
1984.
That was the final straw because
Yeah.
Gremlins and there was
and
another-
Gremlins, right?
There were a couple. It had been boiling.
You know what?
Yes.
Guys, this is actually, as much as I'm loath to admit, this Edna mode is actually a blessing in disguise because I did not
Start the
pan
jar.
all. No, I started the jar. I did not pan all my audio to the left and all you guys to the right. So my track would have had everyone. So
Oh, you didn't do the
this is
test.
good. I don't usually test for that. It's not in the notes because I always remember it.
What?
Well, now you know. You need it in the notes.
Yeah.
And no one's half the battle. Yes. Okay. So now.
Oh, I need a G.I. Joe clip. Yo, Joe.
Oh, that helped. I just had it up too much. Okay, then I'll
Better
just take
than.
Just
Remember
as
that
well,
one?
I got more of these too.
Yeah.
that. Now I'm just trying to think. Edna mode saves the day. Don't even start key devotions. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so it's pretty much gone. Yeah, I'm good with that. That should go away just fine in my noise canceling stuff. I'm just trying to think if we need to redo the intro at all.
When you want to
don't-
listen back?
No, I mean,
Take a
no,
moment?
It'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. I'm just thinking, am I gonna have to edit any of that? I don't think so. It'll just be all of us merged together. I don't think that's gonna be a huge issue if that's the case. Like, I don't think it's imperative that it's just me on that track for that portion.
Yeah,
I
it
think
should be
it's
fine for that part, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean-
so I'm not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna proceed as normal. Okay, Baba's the fan every podcast wish they have. I mean, I'm
That's
not gonna
true.
admit that. I'm not gonna admit that. Not at
No,
all.
that's true. I'll admit that for
No,
you.
because then I'm giving him credence to do like all the I gotta increase the thing, I gotta increase the thing.
It's a little early to push this up to the you know what level, but yeah,
Break the ice, Francisco. Break the ice. Okay.
it'll be a long night.
Okay. No, I think we're in a good space now, guys. D Tungsten, thank you for your patience. You've watched these before. You know how these go, right? D Tungsten?
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
like
I've
your
watched-
first rodeo. Okay.
No, I've watched at least one or two.
Okay.
think.
Okay. Phew. Okay. So we just did that. Okay, Paul, will you please? We're gonna end edit mode. Will you start with the airplane was made? Will you do the whole like it was made for
All right.
this amount of money? And
Yeah,
stuff?
we haven't
Okay,
even done that yet.
perfect. Okay, go with that.
All right. So you ready for the box office trivia game?
I am ready. Bobo, D. Tungsten, are you guys ready?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. And then chat, feel free to join in with this. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Airplane was made for about $3.5 million and earned over $170 million at the box office.
Whoa.
According
That's a
to
lot.
some sources. Other sources claim only $83 million. But I blame Mad Dog Tannen.
I guess that's still more than it's how much it costs
It's
to make,
way
but still.
more. Yeah.
Yeah.
So given the fact that this was released theatrically in 1980, how high do you think it ranks among the other theatrical movies in the box office? We'll do top 50.
Top 50 movies. Okay, let's start with Baba. Where do you think it is? 42?
I want to say 42, but I know it's probably higher than that. So I'm going to say, I'll say 4.
I thought he was going to say 42.
Is this profit or gross?
This
I think
is
it's
how
gross.
much it made, not counting. So gross
Yeah, gross.
Okay.
and not inflated.
Right.
Unlike Otto.
Well, it's just versus all the other movies that year.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
So it doesn't.
I will tell you that Empire Strikes Back was #1 that year.
Yeah, I knew that. I was going to say that. I knew that.
Oh,
And
sorry.
I knew
to
it was
take
that
away from
year.
you.
What?
No, that's
Who
all right.
watched
That's
that?
all right. Yeah, so I know it's not #1. But it's got to be up there.
Yeah.
I'll just say 6.
6. Okay. Let's see. In chat, we have several guesses, all pretty high. Also, we have NLCast, or also That Story Show. James says 17. Owaz says 14. Cellcast says 12. Redeemed Otaku says 19. And I'm actually gonna. This is domestic, I think. Owaz. I'm gonna
This is
lowball it.
worldwide.
Oh, never mind. It's worldwide, international. What
Yeah.
do I know? I'm gonna lowball it and actually say, I'm gonna say 37. I feel like other movies may have probably made more, so I'm saying 37. What is the final tally, Paul, or where did it end up in the top 50?
#4.
Dang it!
So D.
Wow.
Tungsten.
Babo actually.
Babo.
No,
got it.
Babo had 5
Oh, he beat
Oh.
you by 1.
or
He had
4.
five?
No, he had 4.
No, he had 4. Yeah, I wrote down 4. So
Did
Yeah.
he?
No, yeah,
Well,
he's
shows
4.
what I know. I wasn't paying attention to people's answers.
Well, he said 4, and you
That
thought
was
he was
me.
going to say 42.
That's
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
That's right. How could
Yeah.
I forget? This old age
Yeah.
is coming back. All right,
That-
here we go.
I agree, James. It is crazy, right? Redeemed. Number 4 in 1980. All righty. Well, good job, Airplane. And thank you for those factoids, Paul. And let's see if any of them factor into our memory mind meld or subsequent roundtable discussion, which we will get into once Alice has located our target film.
Alert, alert. Approaching target. Spoilers incoming. Establishing analysis vector.
Nielsen and Robert Hayes had an all-star cast that take off on a hilarious flight. Watch out for Airplane.
Yes, watch out for Airplane. But you should really watch out for our memories of Airplane, because who knows how accurate these are going to be. But we merge them all together to give you our memory mind meld synopsis, which is: in the midst of the Great Girl Scout War, former fighter pilot Ted learns he's about to lose the love of his life, Elaine. He's determined to get over his PTSD and board the passenger plane she works on to try to win her back. Everyone on the airline flight comes down with food poisoning if they ate fish. Can't get past my drinking problem. Pilot who can't fly anymore is recruited to surely be their only hope. Ted deals with a sick flight crew, bad weather, and a brief encounter with Shirley before landing kind of safely in Chicago. I picked the wrong time to quit sniffing glue or doing cocaine. Oh, I feel like that's a holdover from someone. The plane lands, but there's still an unsolved mystery as to why the fish was poisoned. And there's multiple unsolved mysteries, I'll say. But based on those memories, I'm I would say that, yeah, I'd say pretty much all that was right. I can't think of anything that was off. Yeah, so I guess no deception this time, which is quite surprising.
Yeah.
So, like I said, based on those memories, which apparently were completely accurate, what rating did they lead us to predict for this film, Airplane, before we rewatched it? So, classic, nostalgic, or tragic? Let's start with D. Tungsten. What was your prediction before you sat down to rewatch it?
My prediction was classic.
Classic. How about you, Baba?
I said classic as well.
All right, Paul. How about you?
Knowing that this is a comedy and it's chocked full of jokes, not everybody finds comedy all that the same. So I predicted nostalgic.
Nostalgic. I predicted classic as well. I remember really enjoying this movie every time I've seen it. I've seen several, maybe a handful of times, probably not that much, but I remember always liking it. So I predicted classic. And it'll be interesting to see if those predictions come true. But first, let's get into our discussion of the things we liked most about Airplane. Let's spin up our...
Best 3.
We have clearance, Clarence. Roger, Roger. What's our vector, Victor?
Yep, exactly that. Though it's going to be just the best 2. So one thing we liked in there are classic makers. And let's start again with D. Tungsten as our newest guest. What's something you liked about Airplane?
Okay, well I'm gonna do number 3 and number 2 then.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
Number 3 is, and I think Francisco will like this, is, there's actually a real story in this. It's not just skits and things.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
So much better than some other movie.
It's a silly story because it's a comedy, but it actually has a story.
Mhm.
Yes.
I very much I approve of this. I'm glad you're here to make
That's
some
'cause they
excellent
stole
points,
it.
D. Tungsten. So what's the movie that this is based on? Like
Zero Hour? Yeah.
Ah.
So basically they saw the movie and then they basically copied it and then they bought the rights to it so they could make the film for it.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
So is it kind of like how Scary Movie was a ripoff of pretty much mainly Scream, some other things, but mainly Scream?
I no, because it's more of a rip. This is more of a rip off.
Oh,
There
okay,
is some
all right.
stuff they directly stole from Zero.
Right.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Have any of you seen 0 Hour? I have not.
I have. It's been a while.
Sadly, I
It's
couldn't find a copy.
Yeah, it's definitely slower paced.
Okay.
and if you've seen any of the airport movies, they've also took from there. That's also, those are all more serious. It's all basically the same kind of plot, but
It's like a disaster movie in the air, right?
no,
Oh,
I wouldn't say it's a quote unquote good disaster movie in the air. But it's taken the same premise but making it serious.
Got it. Okay. Let's go to Bobo next. What's something you enjoyed? Was it that this was for it being a comedy, it was still a cohesive story, or was it something else and something else about it you liked?
It's tough to actually pick between my classic maker and my other like, but I've got this one second, so this will be my first like. It's the cast. The casting of this movie was just sheer brilliance. To have a comedy that is as ridiculous as this is and to go completely straight with it.
Yes.
Between Robert Hayes and Leslie Nielsen, who was only known for doing straightforward roles,
Right.
serious
Up
stuff
to
to
this
that
point.
point. This really revolutionized his career. Peter Graves and Robert Stack and Julie Haggerty, who I guess this was her first movie.
Oh, really?
And I think I read that somewhere.
Okay.
That's
Off
interesting because
IMDb.
she beat out Shelley Long and Sigourney Weaver for this role.
Mhm.
Really? Oh,
Yeah,
I
and she's
feel like
brilliant.
I would
Yeah.
prefer Sigourney Weaver, but okay. That's cool.
Nah.
And it is. I read IMDb trivia that sort of speaks to exactly what you said, Bobo. That apparently they casted actors that had only been like just in non-comedies before because they felt like that straight man's sensibility would play way better in a comedies. And I feel like, yeah, for the most part, that's pretty true.
And the directors in the commentary said that they found those serious actors more funny than the comedians at that time.
That's it right there.
I wonder what comedians would have thought of at that time?
Well, I was thinking like the original cast of Saturday Night Live with Chevy Chase and Bill Murray and all that.
Yeah.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, got it. Well, that kind of goes into the thing I liked, which is I feel like this movie does a good job at being funny in a broad range of comedy. From there's slapstick, there's sort of reversing your expectations, puns, innuendo, through lines, and several callbacks, like lots of different variety of comedy that I feel like this does on the whole well. There's one element that I would not agree they do well, but
so there's something in there for everybody. Like you may not like all the jokes, but you're gonna like some of them.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Paul, what's a good point you have about what you liked?
I really enjoyed seeing the cameos, at least the people that I recognized, like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Mrs. Beaver in there.
Yeah.
Mrs. Who?
Cleaver.
Barbara Billingsley.
Leave it to Beaver's mom.
Yeah.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive.
Yeah.
And it's the old lady speaking to the two guys. Anyway, like the people that I recognize, not that everybody recognized. There are some people in there, like I'm sure, like I was like, okay, that's supposed to be somebody, but I don't recognize who they are. But the people that I did, I enjoyed seeing them.
Got it.
Chump don't want no help. Chump don't get the help.
That was I still enjoy that part.
Yeah.
Excuse me, stewardess. I speak jive. So silly.
The fun part is the translation is actually mostly accurate.
Yeah.
Well, was that an actual thing? I remember
back in the 70s. That was even more popular. Yeah.
It's kind of like some of it's like when you go to like a short order cook and they have special things for saying stuff. It's like that.
Oh, okay.
Remember when Ebonics used to be more popular of a thing? It's kind of like that.
Well, that's what I just said, Paul.
Sorry, I wasn't listening to you, just everyone else.
Why would you? I'm just jumping. Okay, awesome, guys. Well, then that leaves our classic makers. What did we love most about Airplane? I mean, was it the constant sweat from Robert Hayes? Was it the fish and bones? I mean, who knows? I mean, let's solve this mystery about what our favorite things about this movie were. Let's start with Paul this time.
Basically, what you had said, Francisco, was the jokes. Is that if you want to watch a comedy, this like I said, it'll have something in there that'll make you laugh. Not everything in there will, and you may be offended by some of it, but there will be something in there that'll make you laugh.
Exactly. So if you're looking to waste an hour and a half looking for at least one laugh, you got this movie. I think that's what you recommended.
Yeah, that's basically what I said. Yeah.
Let's go to Bobo next.
Yeah, same thing. It's the comedy. I love the variety of comedic things they do here. I love miscommunication humor.
Yeah.
So, like that. It's a very brief scene, but the one with Leslie Nielsen and Peter Graves. It's maybe 20 seconds, 30 seconds at most, but I could watch that scene for an hour over and over.
Awesome.
Just miscommunication, the callback, all that, the different styles you already talked about.
Yes.
Love it.
Awesome.
Golly.
Yeah. Leslie Nielsen really stole his scenes.
Well, okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Just call out my classic maker, Paul. Jeez,
you're welcome.
Stealing my thunder.
You stole mine, I stole yours.
Fair point. Leslie Nielsen was just definitely the standout for me. I felt like he had the best comedic moments, like you said, the one with Peter Graves. I felt like all the Don't Call Me Shirley is just like such a thing in like comedic zeitgeist and such a thing in pop culture. And I think because of the way he delivered it, there's just so much. The moment where he's giving a OBGYN exam, I guess we'll say. And it's like, what's going on up there? That was just so ridiculous.
Unexpected.
Unexpected. I just, stuff like that, I felt like he did such an amazing job with. So I really enjoyed him. Let's go to, then I guess that leaves D. Tungsten. What was the thing you loved most about Airplane?
Well, I was going to go with the Don't Call Me Shirley, but I knew someone else was going to say it. So, it looks like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. That whole bit, like
Lloyd
the
Bridges is
callbacks,
great in this.
everything.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah.
I remember liking that, like, you know, when I watched it back in the day, and I just remember it just gets funnier and funnier, and he's like on the ceiling and you know, with sniffing the glue and everything, and I was on the floor, I think, laughing, you know, in the living room when I was watching it the first time, because I was like 13, you know, so it's the funniest thing ever, you know.
Yes, totally. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool, guys. Man, this is fun reminiscing about the things we liked. And there's something else I liked.
You sound disappointed, like you don't like it that much.
Did you forget something, Francisco?
I'm disappointed in myself for forgetting things. That's what.
Don't be hard on yourself. You're old like me.
Probably that second cup of coffee you had.
Surely you jest.
You know what? Let me just get out the thing I like, guys. How about that? Helix Reviews. David Arrington is the host of the Helix Reviews podcast. In every episode, he breaks down what he does and doesn't like about the movies, video games, and comics he's reviewing, and also discusses the themes, messages, and ideas they portray. You can find Helix Reviews on your favorite podcast catcher or at helixreviews.blogspot.com.
That's great, but what does that have to do with Airplane?
Well, Airplane's a movie, and he covers movies.
Wow. Let's pull up some Siskel and Ebert.
All right, fine. It was probably my worst tie-in, Paul. All right, fine. How about let me.
No, it wasn't.
Well,
so close.
You want out this ship, Bobo? Because there's the escape hatch right there.
I was wondering why I'm sitting next to the airlock.
Well, because you said you're more comfortable with like having the leg room of it. So, you know, just like on airplanes, you get more leg room and if you're near the emergency exit. Regardless, let's talk about some trivia about Airplane. Would that make you all happy?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Let's talk about Airplane.
Apparently, Paul's speaking for everyone. Did you all realize that for the argument between the announcers concerning the white zone and the red zone at the airport in the very beginning of the film, the producers hired the same voice artists who had made the real world announcements at Los Angeles International Airport, LAX, for those that know. And they're also married to each other in real life. Or, I mean, I imagine they may have passed away by now, but so they were married to each other. Given that, if you could choose to do a voiceover for some business or government agency, which would you choose and what would you want to say for it? So let's start with Bobo.
I'm thinking I'd want maybe the CIA.
Ooh.
Primarily for the phone lines. If you ever call them, you got to put them on hold. Yeah, you got to put them on hold and just say, like, you know, hey, please hold. Just remember, if you do hang up, we know where you are, and we'll call you back when we're ready for you. Oh, no, just kidding. Just kidding. But, yeah. No.
Nice. I like it. Oh, goodness. Or, like, just hang on the phone so we can see where you are. I mean, so that we can get to you in a timely manner.
Have
but
a
that's
seat,
great one,
get
Bob.
comfy. No, not there. Over there. Yeah.
Right. No, the white phone.
Wow. D. Tungsten, how about yourself?
Well, similarly, I was thinking I would do NASA, and then I would say, you know, we faked the moon landings. Because I think that would be really, really funny.
Yes, I think it would.
Not that I actually think that they faked the moon landings, but
wink,
so,
wink.
No, I mean, I just gotta say that because, you know, I wouldn't do it for real because, you know,
you're stuck either way. No, there's no getting out of it.
Well, I mean, we all know that they couldn't have faked it because, I mean, the moon landing is the clearest evidence that we're living on a flat Earth. I mean, when they took that picture,
there you go.
It's this flat circle, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Paul, how about you?
I think that'd be funny.
That would be funny. I agree.
So the government part sticks in my mind as well. And since I don't do voiceover, we're in the realm of fantasy. I'd like to do a voice. I'd like to be able to mimic the voice of Nicolas Cage. And then I would be, you know, when you go to Washington, D.C., I would be right where you could see the Declaration of Independence, and I would be like, I'm more of a Constitution protector, and I would be telling the history of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, and just using his voice, or maybe they would have like an animated show or a hologram in the future. When you press
a button, it gives like a recording.
So I think that would be fun to do. I mean, it would be better if he did it, but you know, if since we're in the realm of fantasy, I think that would be fun.
That would be fun. Awesome. We have one from we have a couple from our Twitch or chat. Redeemed Otaku says a skyscraper elevator operator would be for her, and my line would be, "Hold on to your butts."
Let's move this elevator.
Exactly. And then Owaz says a PSA for the IRS. All right, there you go.
We're coming after you. The more you know.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much for just sharing those funny things you would do.
Great trivia, Francisco. And I have the answer to our audience's previous question, which again was, what iteration of Batman is your favorite?
Edna mode. I knew I forgot to add something. Hold on.
Which iteration? The one where Batman, it sounds like he's being irritated.
How many of those do you have, Bobo?
What is that? I know that's Miss Crabapple, right? But I can't see what it said. Crabapple.
Hashtag Edna mode. That's all it was.
Oh,
Edna's her name. Edna's her first name. So.
Oh,
really?
that's cool. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
So I didn't realize. I mean, I've seen a few episodes, not a ton. I didn't realize she was married to Ned Flanders. Is that true or? Huh?
I don't know.
They
had a thing at least, I guess. I don't know.
I thought they were married because they have different last names. Maybe they wait. His wife died originally.
His wife died. Yeah.
Maud died.
Maud. Yeah.
Maud. So then they had a fling or something, right?
Yeah, they did have a
I
fling.
think that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. Because I thought I read somewhere where like Miss Crabapple died, but they didn't replace the voice actress. A lot of time they'll just, I mean, the voice actress who played her died, and they also retired the character or killed the character off instead of getting a new voice.
Well, they did that for all Phil Hartman's characters. They retired.
That's
them.
true. Because I mean, how can you can't replace that voice?
No.
No way.
It's too iconic.
Although I will say Zach Brannigan did sound a lot like Phil Hartman.
Oh, I don't know who that is, but I'll take your word for it.
That's from Futurama. But
okay.
But when I first heard it, I was like, it's Phil Hartman. How does that sound like Phil Hartman? You know.
Oh, cool.
So.
Well, that's good that they were able to keep that character that he played on there.
Yeah. Well, he did. I don't think he ever played it. I think.
Oh, really? I thought he did in the beginning. That does sound like Phil Hartman. Then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The voice sounds like Phil Hartman, but I don't think it is.
Wow. Okay.
Because that show started after he died, didn't it?
You know, I think now that you say that, that sounds right.
Because it was like 98, 99, and he died like the same weekend that Princess Di died, or same year.
97?
It was right around that
Thank you
time.
for your patience.
It was like mid to late 90s, but and I think Futurama was like 99 or something like that.
Owa says 97. We're taking bets. Which
I'll
internet
go with whatever
website is
Owa.
correct?
Yeah, I'll go with whatever Owa says.
Was that the year he was giving us, or was that the prediction for the number of Edna modes?
Both.
Yeah, he died in the 90s. The Futurama started I knew it was right near 2000 because they made that year 3000 thing.
Yeah,
and it coincided with.
Nice.
All right.
We're still waiting. We're still in.
I
Edna
know.
mode.
I'm
telling the people that are waiting. We have an
Oh.
audience. I'm trying to.
Of course, yes, thank you.
Yes, Francisco. I wanted to let you know that we're still in Edna mode as you're still typing. I can see your show notes. No one else can, but I just want to let you know that you're still typing. Okay, you can do it.
Ha. That was hilarious, actually. Okay, I think I'm ready to go. Thank you, everyone, for being patient.
Do you want to give us your voice over? Should I ask that or no?
You don't have to. I do have one, but you don't have to. That's fine.
That's your call.
You have the salvo authority.
Mine is Big Sauce. I do want to read Owaz's, though.
Okay.
So Let's see. So let's
Edna
see.
mode
Did you
this
say-
in.
Well, here's what I'll
Cut
do.
and
Did
paste.
Did we do everyone's? When did I do Owaz's? Did I do him last after you?
When he said diddly do.
Okay, here I'll just put this in. Are you ready, Paul?
Yes. Where do you want me to begin?
No,
Which
you'll-
iteration of
you'll
Batman
know.
was your favorite?
You'll know, Paul.
Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Paul, before you get into that question of what the last audience question was, Bobo did clarify what he would want his voiceover for the IRS to say. He would say, "We are refunding all your money and closing our doors. Sorry for stealing your money."
Don't think a government can work that way, but that'd be nice.
Yes, if
could.
only.
It doesn't work anyway.
Oh, good point. So let's get
Burn.
on to our trivia question before they shut our doors down.
Wow.
Which our last audience question, which again was, which iteration of Batman is your favorite? We got a couple answered, and
Answers. Yeah, that's my typo. Sorry. Edna mode. That real quick. I should have just let it go because I could have edited it out, but no, I want to.
It's another Edna. Brilliant. We got a couple of answers, and though we appreciate getting one from Drew Doggin, Bobo wins with his answer, and he says, do you remember what you said, Bobo?
I don't think I said anything. I think I typed it.
All right. Well, you typed my favorite Batman iteration of the ones I've seen is probably Michael Keaton. Could be serious, could be a little kitsch. I don't know what that word is, because I have a 4th grade reading level, and he goes on to say, you go on to say, he could be whatever type of Batman was asked of him. That's true. He can go crazy or serious or whatever.
Totally.
So now here is this episode's listener question. What is your favorite airplane?
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Send your answers for what's your favorite airplane.
Like airplane movie, like airplane.
No, just the type of airplane. It could be
Aeroplane.
Airbus. It could be Boeing
Snoopy
737.
fighting the Red Baron.
It could be SR-71, F-14, whatever. It could be anything. Yeah, it could be the Red Baron triplane, whatever that's called. You choose. What is your favorite airplane? Send your answers to trivia@retrorewindpodcast.com by the time we record our next episode, which usually gives you a week and a couple days. If you're listening to this on the day it drops as a podcast, if you're watching live, you have definitely more time than that. But now that we have all had some trivial fun, let's find out what memories you, our awesome rewinders, had about airplane. Kevin Joshua Burnham opens us up by saying, I remembered wanting to review this with you guys, and it's old enough. What's going on, emoji? So a reminder to Kevin and anyone else who would like to possibly guest host on the show, please, you have to be a part of our Discord. Go to retrorewindpodcast.com/Discord to join it. And whenever we have a new block of movies that we're going to cover, then we will open it up and say, okay, if you'd like to guest on this, then react to this post with whatever emoji aligns with the movie. I just pick out emojis that make sense with the given movie or game, and then, or probably just movies. And then you can react to the ones you want to be guest on. Then I do some calculus to figure out who gets to be on what. And
did I hear calculus?
No, you didn't. That's how, for instance, Bobo and D. Tungsten were on, because they did that process, and that's why they're here today. So
He dropped the restraining order.
Oh my word. So Kevin, I think you're on our Discord, but in case, for you and for anyone else, in case you're not, that's how you can be a guest, or
Gotta
possibly
check
be a
all
guest.
the boxes.
Exactly.
All right. So Reed Benson goes to say about the movie Airplane, not about getting onto the show, but he says, I saw it well after it was already well known. I liked it for the most part, but some of it was surprisingly risque. I got to tell you, I think this is the first time I've seen the non-networked viewing showing of this movie, because I was shocked by apparently stuff that I don't remember ever seeing.
Yeah. Michael Withers says, and don't call me Shirley.
Yeah, Drew Dodgen says, this is the... What?
It sounds like you're saying Drew Doggin, but yeah, it is Dodgin. Just making sure you're
All
saying
right,
it right. That's
dodge that one. All right, he says the best joke in the film that very few people get: the sound effects for the jet engines are the sounds of a propeller-driven plane. Also, I've seen 0 Hour, which this movie adapts the script of, which is a lot more serious. It's interesting to see how much context changes the feel of the movie, even when they are saying the exact same lines for most of the movies.
Mm-hmm. That is interesting. Plus, I mean, it's similar to if you've ever seen the fan or YouTube made. Someone took the trailer or the clips from Mary Poppins and made it into like a horror movie called Scary Poppins.
Yeah.
And just because of the way they cut it and the music they use, it's just interesting how you can completely change the tone of something.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Smith says the stewardess singing to the poor
sick child.
Yeah.
Oh, I was waving hi to Becky in the chat.
Oh,
not to you, Francisco. Sorry for another Edna there.
I wasn't gonna say it. I was just gonna cut that out, but whatever, fine.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun.
Oh my gosh. Back to
Edna
I
mode.
had the
She's
same
here.
confusion. I was like, why is he waving to Francisco? I don't know.
Sorry.
Thank you,
Soon
G-Town.
as
Just
No
update the meter.
time.
It's worth to hear.
End of Edna mode. Becky Smith, also known as Redeemed Otaku, says the stewardess singing to that poor sick child and unplugging her IV. It kills me every time. You know what's funny?
It definitely gets a reaction out of me.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I love that woman's voice. I forget the actress's name, but she just does such a. I don't know if
The
it's her
singing?
actually singing. Yeah.
Oh.
I just that. And something about that song, this is the only place I've ever heard it. I really enjoy it. And it is funny when she's
I
just
really
like,
couldn't tell because I was watching the girl and I was going like, "Oh no, she's oh!" And then she was making that stupid fish face, which helped.
that
Yeah,
I didn't,
yeah.
I didn't like that. It's like, why would she be making that?
But it was funny. But yeah.
It was. I read it in the credits. It was written by Peter Yarrow of, I believe he was of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
Okay. I can see that.
All right. Stanley Wright says, I remember watching this with my daddy. We loved this type of humor. I'm calling it a classic a little early.
All right. Fair enough, Stanley. And Alex Ortiz ends by saying, okay, so we all know and love the joke. I take my coffee black like my men. But the reaction shot of the little boy and the blood instantly draining from his face, filling with insecurities, will always be funny to me. Yes, indeed, Alex. And Alex's comment leads us right into the things we didn't like about Airplane. You know, maybe filling Airplane with insecurities about what we're about to say about it. So let's bring up our worst three things about Airplane. I'm going to start with this one. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, our worst two things.
If I may, before you start,
Go for it.
I just want to tell you both. Good luck.
Yes.
We're all
Thank you.
I thought you were serious there. So the thing that I didn't like, and this is I'm starting this off because I feel like you guys will be able to instantly tell me, oh no, this is the reason behind that. But we're talking about how some of the things are unexplained before.
Oh no, you're looking for explanations in this movie?
Yes.
Oh
So,
no.
Do you guys remember there's this woman that she gets a call to wake up to go to the airport, and there's a horse in bed with her.
Yeah, the pilot's wife.
Yeah.
That's the pilot's wife.
Yes.
Okay, I didn't get that. I didn't know who it was and why was she.
Hey, old man, are you watching with subtitles on like I told you to?
Is this when you fell asleep?
I didn't fall asleep, Bob. No, I just did not. I didn't catch that. That's the pilot's wife. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
The pilot that had passed out from eating chicken.
Yes.
Or fish. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so see, I knew it was going to be something very explainable. I went the whole movie wondering, who are you? Why do you care so much?
I know this is frustrating, Francisco, but it's probably.
I picked the wrong week to quit smoking.
I don't smoke, Paul. All right, so let's go to someone who probably has
You definitely picked the wrong week then.
Yeah.
a much more substantial dislike. Let's go to D Tungsten. What's something you didn't like about Airplane?
Something I didn't. Let's see. What was I gonna say? The thing that I didn't like, especially watching it now, was when they said smoking or non, and I was just remembering when used to smoke on airplanes.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't because I was a kid, but just how gross that was.
Yeah, even in the non-smoking section, you can still smell it. It wasn't as bad. But
but it's. I mean, it's not like a restaurant. I mean, restaurants were like that too.
Yeah.
But all that air is recycled. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they do actually pull that from outside, but it's tiny. It's a tiny little enclosed space where stuff. You know.
Though I did like the joke that his ticket is smoking.
That was hilarious.
Funny.
Yes, the joke was funny, but I was just reminded of that. So it wasn't really inherent in the movie. It's just like, oh yeah, I remember when that was the thing, and I was just like, you.
And that's fair. OWAS does mention that they run the air through filters, so I guess that's something.
They
I
do,
feel like
but
you could still smell it.
Oh yeah,
you can.
Yeah,
it's a tiny space, enclosed
especially
space.
If you,
exactly.
Yeah, especially if you have that cig of weed.
Oh my gosh! Wow, is that a Rush Hour callback?
Yeah.
Okay.
or if you're like, you know, right next to the smoking section.
Yeah. The
Doesn't seem
closer
like
you
it.
are, yeah.
Exactly.
Doesn't do
OWAS
anything.
says that was more of a joke than serious. Well, now you're just giving us fake news. What do we believe, OWAS?
Because get it, there's filters in the cigarettes.
Okay. Let's move on to Bobo. What's something you didn't like about Airplane?
All right, I gotta have at least one semi-controversial take.
Uh-oh.
Pause, guys. I don't know what happened. We'll keep going.
Recording. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm gonna have to just. This may be a recording that I just take straight from Twitch because apparently I didn't delete my last file before this. I changed the battery, then forgot to delete. So my card's full now, and so I can't. So.
What?
Can I unpause now?
How many Ednas are we at?
Too many. That's what.
Yes, you can unpause for that.
Oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry.
It's quite all right. We're only up to here.
Oh my.
Okay. Usually I run a tire ship. Like I said, a lot on my mind. Going into tomorrow. Anyway, we'll just keep going. Keep going. This should be on Twitch. I'll just pull the audio from that and it'll be okay.
So do you not want ours?
Probably not at this point. Probably just.
Should we stop or do you want it just in case?
Keep going just in case.
All right, good.
I
was about to
send them, but
suggest
keep the files. Keep the files just in case I'm able to figure out something. Okay, but let's continue. Let's see. And now I have a little one. So hold on. I may have to deal with that.
Cool.
So.
The Edna mode is growing larger.
Thanks, Leon.
Little one walks.
Actually, that was Johnny.
I'm gonna bump this up.
Yeah, Leon's growing larger, right?
Yeah, that was Johnny talking about Leon.
Yeah, wow. Good memory.
Well, I just watched the movie.
Yeah, so did I.
It was in the credits that his name was Johnny. Otherwise, I would. He did mention it though. He did mention it because he's like me, Johnny, Big Tree or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But that was his actual. Yeah, that was the character's name.
Why are you giving them the steely eye?
Because we're not interacting with her.
Yes. She said hi to you guys. Oh yeah, you guys can hear her.
Hi.
So
oh hi.
They're all saying hi to you.
Gosh.
And Paul's saying hi from Mr. Miyagi. So there you go. Okay. Go back to bed, okay? Yes, from Karate Kid. Yes.
Oh, sorry.
But hi means yes.
Have a good night.
That's true.
Okay.
I learned that from reading the Karate Kid. Hi to you too.
All right. I think we can get back to it. I'm totally flummoxed as where we were.
Bobo's about to give us a
Bobo's
controversial.
about to drop the bomb.
Potentially.
Let me lead you back in, Bob.
Except when we all agree, and then we're like, of course.
It's possible.
There's so much going on right now. I can't do that. So please just put yourself back to bed. I can come give you a hug when I'm done, okay? I love you.
That's how you send him to bed. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Here we go, guys. In 5, 4, 3. Let's go to Bobo next. What's something you didn't like about Airplane?
Well, I have to give somewhat of a controversial take, potentially.
Okay.
But
potentially.
Yeah. Because, I mean, there were a couple things about this film that had the fish, shall we say. And one of them... Pause for reaction. Okay. I didn't hate everything about the character of Johnny, but about half of his jokes were more distracting from from the movie to me.
Was he the flamboyant one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Yeah,
you.
he was the Johnny Big Tree.
Yeah.
Rapunzel.
Yes.
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of the stuff totally worked fine for me, and some of it I thought was a little too showy and just not as good as the rest of the movie, basically, which is a high bar. But
I totally agree. Like, he had some real good hits, but when he missed, it missed. So I can totally see that. Let's see. Then I guess that leaves Paul. Was Johnny or another one of the characters someone that you didn't care for?
I thought he was fine. He tried a little too hard, but
Like I took the wrong week to quit drinking.
The main guy, Robert Hayes as Ted Stryker, I thought would have been better with a more comedic person in that role. Even though that they purposely hired straight men for this. That was their vision, but I think it would have been better having somebody who had more comedic chops as the main guy. I mean, he doesn't have to be like, I understand he doesn't have to be telling all the jokes or anything, but I just found him a little too stiff for my liking for a comedy.
I part of me wonders, and Bobo, D-Tongues, feel free to add to this. I almost wonder if it's more the editing, because it seemed like they just held on him or waited for his reaction a bit long. Like they could have cut it to his reaction a bit faster. And I wonder if that had more to do with it. Because I did feel like at times like, you gonna say something? You gonna react to this? You're just, I'm waiting for you. We're waiting.
Well, that might be more in the editing of today's audience is we're used to more fast pace, but I think just overall it would have been nice to, as the main guy, he's the main guy for a comedy, and I understand he's reacting, or a lot of the things are jokes around him, so you build the story around him. But it would have been, like I said, he's a little too straight and narrow for my...
I could see that.
Yeah.
Anyone... I have an idea for who I had cast.
Don Knotts. No.
No, it's way too wacky. Okay. But do you have a serious, like, who you would recast, possibly?
No, I haven't really thought that much about it, no.
For me... I think Tom Hanks would do a good job in this.
Back then, I thought of that, but he was still a TV star. I don't even know if he started Bosom Buddies by 1980
really?
yet.
Yeah, this is 1980.
Okay. Then maybe he would have been a bit too young. But okay.
But yeah, he would have been a better choice. Just what we know of Tom Hanks, a younger Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Kirk Douglas. Come on, Spartacus. Okay. Then, with that out of the way, that leaves our tragic makers, the things we hated most about Airplane, the things we just wanted to see crash and burn about this movie. Let's go to Bobo. What did you hate most about Airplane, Bobo?
I'm not the most prude person in the world, but there were a few too many naughty jokes, I thought, in this. A lot of those kinds of jokes were very easy jokes that I think they could have replaced a few of them with something a little smarter. And I don't know. I'm not saying remove them all necessarily. I thought some of them were still really funny, even if I thought they were a little a little gross or whatever. But
Yeah.
I think some of them work. But again, it's just some of them kind of missed for me. Or you guys could do something better than.
It's like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Wow. So, Baba, I'm right there with you. That's pretty much verbatim my tragic maker as well. The only thing I'd say is that, of the sexual humor in this, yeah, like you said, were some things that were funny, but I felt like for the most part, because I don't mind sexual humor if it is funny, but I feel like most of it in here was the funny didn't outpay or didn't outweigh the grossness of it. Like maybe this is just me being more and more getting
Crude?
crotchety and old, but like the abortion joke at the beginning, I was like, why are we starting the movie off with that?
Yeah,
and
That's
then,
actually taken from one of the earlier films at the.
oh really?
Yeah.
Wait,
The
like
Unwanted
0
Child.
Hour or something?
Yeah, it's either 0 Hour or Airport. I forget, but that
The
was
announcers talk about that?
well, no, but there are characters that do. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Then I could see it being a spoof of that.
Yeah.
That makes a bit more sense having that context. But regardless,
but it's
that was
surprising
still-
that was one of the lines.
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, just and so for the majority, most of them like that were. I could see that they're going for humor, but I'll say the grossness of it sort of outweighed the humor that otherwise there would have been. So if you're gonna go for that, fine, make it super funny, super tight, super just like a really sharp-witted joke. But for the most part, I feel like most of these were not for what they were trying to do. So let's go to D Tungsten. Was it the same thing? Are we gonna have a
Yeah, it was
4
basically
for 4?
the same thing,
Oh,
but
gosh.
I got a specific one that was the reinflating of the autopilot. Just see when I
didn't
first
mind
saw
one
that.
so much, but okay. Fair,
Well, when I
go ahead.
first saw it, I didn't get the joke.
Yeah, me too. There's so much of that.
So
humor in
now
this.
when I see
Yeah.
it, I'm like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
you know. So
Mhm.
it kind of just that one. The rest of it's fine. I love the bit
Okay.
at the end, like where he winks, you know, because he's got the girlfriend and.
Yes. Yeah,
But yeah, that one got me, and I didn't remember the abortion joke at all.
okay.
Like, so when I saw that anew for the first time, I was like, you know,
Exactly.
what was that? And then the other thing I actually didn't catch was the newsstand. I didn't remember that
Oh
from
my
before.
gosh, yes.
That I thought was
Jeez
funny though. I
Louise.
actually liked
yeah.
that.
Yeah, it was very
But
subtle.
it was
See, I like
over
that. It
the
wasn't-
it was subtle. It was over the top if you actually were paying attention.
Exactly. Yes.
Because there was
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
but-
that's another thing. Peter Graves, his character's pedophilia. I was like,
Yeah.
just stop,
That was-
please.
Yeah.
that was
That
overboard
to
for
me,
me.
that was so ridiculous. I didn't have a
It was
problem.
over.
with
All
that.
right, I mean that's fine.
He kept his pants on. I mean,
You know,
That's
yeah.
true.
I mean, you know what? That is one that I used to think was really, really funny, and then now it's like, it's less funny as I watch it now. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, it's sort of a balance. If it's
Yeah.
and I think it just depends on where you are in life, how different humor hits
Yes.
you in different ways. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's totally.
Exactly.
So where you are in life, Francisco, do you like gladiator movies?
Oh my gosh, Paul. I like Gladiator. I don't know if
Yeah.
I like Gladiator movies. Wow.
Have you ever been in a Turkish prison?
No, I mean I saw a Turkish prison in Robin
Yeah.
Hood Prince of Thieves and Robin Hood Men in Tights,
Yeah.
but other than that, no. They seem fun. Paul, why don't you cap us off with your tragic maker for
I'm gonna go in the same but slightly different direction. And basically, I think this movie suffers from I think a lot of the jokes are just plain over the top. And now
You don't say?
it suffers in a way that I think the more recent Adam Sandler movies suffer. Is that if you watch it, it is funny. There are jokes in it, but a lot of it is over the top. You take the movie where he teamed up with Drew Barrymore in The Wedding Singer originally, and then more recently, he re-teamed up with her again in the movie Blended. And Blended, there are more over the top jokes in it, just like his other recent. If they had toned it down, I think it could be just as lovable and I forget what other lovable adjective you want to put in there, as the original, and more liked and more well received by the public. And I think the movie would have been stronger for it. So a lot of these jokes that I like, we were mentioning the certain types of jokes and certain characters were over the top. I think a lot of that, if they didn't have to make it serious like the movies it was based on, but kept a lot of the humor in it that wasn't so much. And I think the movie would have been better for it. So that's my tragic maker.
I could totally see that. Yeah. Fair enough, guys.
Picked the wrong week to quit sniffing glue.
Oh my gosh. Are we just going to go through each and every one of them?
Yes,
well,
that's the joke.
I'm V Tungsten. I'm hilarious. Calling out there. Francisco.
I know we're talking about Airplane, but the jokes just went over the head.
My gosh. I know what? No, I can't tell. I can't figure out if I hate more that you guys are just like making these great jokes at my expense, or that I'm not coming up with them at your expense. I just don't know which I hate more.
You just got to remember what Robert Stack. You got to remember what Robert Stack told Lloyd Bridges. We are the joke.
He said that? When did he say that?
Not in the movie. It was
no, it was
they were having cocktails together.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Well, awesome. Now that we've entered all our trajectories into the firing computer, Alice, do you have a firing solution for us?
Firing solution complete. Rating salvo at the ready. On your mark.
Do we rate Airplane? Airplane! From 1980, a classic. We'd recommend anyone go and see this movie, whether or not they've seen it before. A nostalgic, it's worth your time to rewatch if you remember liking it as a kid or a young adult, or in whatever you've seen it in the past. It's worth your time to watch again or revisit. But if you've never seen it before, maybe just leave it alone, watch something else. Or do we rate it a tragic? No matter whether or not you've seen it before, don't seek out this movie. If you have fond memories of it, leave those memories intact, because rewatching it will sully them. So let's go around and start with our newest guest, D. Tungsten. What is your final rating for Airplane?
Classic.
Classic still, really?
Yeah.
That's like, I can't believe it. Why would it still be classic? No, that's awesome. Okay. Very good.
Surely
Very
you must
good.
be joking.
Oh my goodness.
No, I'm serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What is your final rating?
Before you guys give your ratings, I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And also,
the Retroverse is counting on us. I agree.
Also, quick shout out to Lee Bryant, who was the wife in this movie, who we didn't really talk about. She was the one that they were trying to settle down, and they slap her and shake her like crazy and all that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
According to the IMDb trivia, she suggested that, and that was like the one thing they improv. That's such a great scene. And I was actually concerned because she got shaken so doggone hard.
And you know, I hope they didn't really hit her, but it looked like they possibly could have.
The second one did.
Was it Nielsen's of the two? Yeah, it wasn't. He wasn't trying to, but it did. It did.
Oh, you know, that's another mystery about the thing is why didn't she get sick? Because she had the fish.
Did she have the fish? Yes.
Maybe she passed out later because the captain was later. Maybe she ate it later.
Oh no! She vomited up all the eggs. Because apparently the fish laid eggs in her mouth.
Oh, was that
that turned into a bird?
Yeah. Okay. And that was it.
Knows?
Then she was cured.
Yeah.
That he really did that magic trick.
That was cool. I knew how he was doing it. Like she kept the same.
I was wondering why does he do that, and then I said, then I noticed, the eggs are keeping coming. Okay.
Yeah.
So, she was a bit. Orwaz says she was a bit fishy herself. Okay, so what is your final rating then, Bobo? I'm still waiting.
So anyway, my final rating, I am going to say classic as well.
Oh, okay. Classic.
This, in my mind, is
prediction.
it is one of the classic comedies of all time. And I think for me, any movie that I would say is a classic in its genre has to be a classic by the rating system.
Oh, that's a good point.
Podcast. And this
Sorry,
is
what was I missed that. You talked over him, Paul.
I was saying he has a good point.
Which was
because
you
I
said
did
that.
Yeah.
What was your good point, Bobo?
My good point was a really excellent statement that I made, but that's not important now.
Nice.
I already forgot what it was. But anyway, no, it was anything that's a classic in its genre should be a classic for the Retro Rewind podcast.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Something like that.
Thank you. Okay, thank you for clarifying.
And this is absolutely a classic comedy by any definition. If it's not a classic comedy in your mind, I'm afraid for you. Because
I'm gonna have to go ahead and disagree with you there. Because
so Bob is gonna be afraid of Paul right now. Okay, what is it, Paul? You predicted nostalgic. What is your final rating?
Yeah. Me personally, I wouldn't. There's too much risque humor in this for me to personally recommend it to anybody. You won't hear me say, "Hey, go check it out." But if you enjoyed it before, chances are you'll enjoy it again. And like we said, there is humor that you will like in here. So I kept it at a nostalgic. What's the matter, Captain?
So I predicted classic because I remember liking this movie. But yeah, I guess in my old crotchiness, it's not as enjoyable as it once was. I feel like my memories were sullied by it. But not to the point of that I would rate it tragic. I'd still say there's plenty of fun to be had in it. So, but it's not to the level of, say, a Spaceballs or Men in Tights, where it's like, oh man, I could just watch that again. I could watch that again. So I'd say it's gonna be nostalgic for me as well. So my long sigh was because now we have a tiebreaker.
Oh, good. We get to visit Francisco from the future.
Yes.
Or who's even more crotchety and old.
Francisco from the future. Let's go to you and find out what our awesome patrons at the Rewind Republic level ended up voting to give us a final rating for this film. Francisco from the future, take it away. Hello. You happen to jump very far into the future for this rating. Because I, Francisco from the future, am here to tell you, let me bring up my holographic internets. It is quite fancy here in the future. Okay.
All right. So you're still slow and boring.
I just realized I can't do the bit because I don't have the final rating yet. So I'm going to do
Right.
that all over again.
It's a placeholder.
You gotta start pushing this up on your own, man.
Gonna make my vein pop, Bobo. Okay.
Well, his veins getting larger.
All right. Okay. And wow, I was not expecting to go that far in the future for this rain, but thank you from the future. Do you guys? I'm a little surprised that was the final rain, but what do you guys think? Was that?
I was at first, but now that I think about it, it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
That really stings when you get that. Come back from that. That's ow.
Yeah. Watch out for those time fluxes.
Yeah, it's weird. They snap back at you.
Gotta have a
Thank you
seatbelt on.
again to our patrons for that final rain. But now it's time to get back to our own time. Good old 20XX.
20XX.
Comsat online. Receiving incoming transmission.
Flight 209 now arriving Gate 8. Gate 9. Gate 10.
Feels good to be back at Gate Infinity. But we wouldn't have been able to travel back to 1980 to begin with if it weren't for our amazing reflux capacitors, who I believe are in the white zone. Namely, Jared Holzhauer, Deborah Powers, Brian Keating, Patrick Hicks, LJ Lowry, Chris Cowan, Chris Owens, Geek Devotions, The Untold Podcast, James Kennison, Drew of the Cellcast, Ashley Cronbitter, Pastor Dewson, Kenneth and Redeemed Otaku, Ryan Lingle, that's our Baba. Oh, he's right here.
Hey,
Josh
it's me.
Adams, D Tungsten. Oh, he's also right here. Andy Lewis, Jeff, Little Ronan, the Dapper Man Reviews, Tony from the Retro Days, in addition to 8 other awesome patrons as well. Thank you all so much for keeping the gigawatts coming. And if you want to help us keep flying for as little as $1 a month and get bonus content for your generosity, head over to retrorewindpodcast.com/support to help us grow via Patreon, Subscribestar, or PayPal.
This stream is sponsored by PaulJPowers.com.
And while we're, I almost said it again, while we're supporting our thankers. I don't know why I say that sometimes. But while we are thanking our supporters, we also want to give a big airline hug to our guests for coming and supporting us with their thoughts about Airplane, the movie, tonight. So, let's go alphabetical order like I do. Let's start with Bobo. How can people find you online? Or is there anything cool you got going on that people should know about?
No.
Okay, excellent.
Actually, you can find me on Twitter at That's Our Bobo if you're into that kind of thing. It's That's Our Bobo, or That's Sour Bobo if I'm in a bad mood. But you'll figure out the spelling. Bobo, by the way, is 3 B's, 2 O's because there's just one Bobo. I've been waiting to pull that one out. And
wow,
good.
Yeah,
cool.
I like it.
That's about it.
Awesome.
Thank you. Cool. And Drake, what's going on with you? How can people find you online? Or is there anything cool you got going on?
Well, I do have that DS9 review project that you can find that at ASSEND.net.
Okay, Ascend. Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
it's sort of a pun.
Yes.
Oh, is it? What's it a pun on?
Yes, it means butts up.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. No, Pablo. Whatever. Okay, so continue.
Nothing. What's up with you?
But yeah, it's a little bit crude, but
okay.
that's what it is.
Awesome.
And you can go there and look at that. I've got the first seasons already up there. The whole first season done.
Very awesome.
So.
Well, thank you again so much to Bobo and D Tungsten. It's so awesome having you guys be on the show again and for the first time. And a hearty thanks to those of you listening for the first time. And of course, all of you who are a part of our Rad Rewinder community. You all who watch us live every week, whether we're recording this podcast or playing retro games, you're an amazing, amazing group of people helping sustain the pod. But if you are looking for ways to get involved in growing this Retro Rewind endeavor, reach out to us on
it large. All right, sorry.
Large. Reach out to us on social media where we are at Retro Rewind Pod pretty much everywhere. You could buy some of our merch, leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, become a monthly patron, or simply just share your favorite episode of the podcast with a friend so that more people can enjoy the content of the Retro Rewind Pod.
I've got to concentrate. Hello? Echo. Pinch hitting for Pedro Borbon. Manny Mota.
Right. You've been listening to Retro Rewind podcast.com/228. Our review of Airplane with me, PaulJPowers.com. Apparently, I'm an XO, so kisses and hugs are here if you're feeling lonely.
Executive officer.
Oh, executive officer. That too. Maybe that's how I found my way there. Anyway, you can find me online and all my social media links at PaulJPowers.com.
To all you captains out there, this is what happens when you give the XO your salvo authority. Thank you for being an amazing friend, Paul, for another fun voyage. I have been and continue to be the captain of the pod, Francisco Ruiz. Find me on Twitter at FXRetro_, especially if you need a pixel artwork commissioned.
And we are honored to be part of the Christian Geek Central Network at ChristianGeekCentral.com. Captain, we are on final approach to base, wherever that is.
That's good to know, XO, and thank you all for listening. We pray you are more joyful now than when you first hit play. like a Pokemon, we gotta catch you all for X2 X-Men United, our next episode of the Retro Rewind podcast.
Retro Rewind mission complete. Proceed to nav point Omega and return to base.
Well, I'll give him another 20 minutes. But that's it.
Hey, do you know what we can do with those extra minutes?
Young Indiana Jones!
Then it is something that man was not meant to disturb. Trust me.
Are you making this up as you go along? Yeah?
You don't believe me. You will, Dr. Jones.
Mission accomplished. Full throttle. No break.
Those people are trying to kill us. I know, Dad! It's a new experience for me. Happens to me all the time.
Welcome, everyone, to our continuing reviews of each chapter of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, our Adventures of Young Indiana Jones. I forget exactly what it's called, Paul.
The Adventures of Young Indiana
Okay,
Jones. We're not reviewing the original Chronicles of Young Indiana Jones that first aired. We're reviewing the since then remastered and stitched together.
So, the quote-unquote adventures. Got it. Okay,
All right.
So, and we're reviewing these episode by episode every month in between our Christmas reviews of the Indiana Jones movies, all three of them. Count them, 3 of them. So, Paul, will you tell us which episode did we watch this time, any technicals about it?
All right, so we watched chapter 16 called Tales of the Innocents, and basically this was taken from mostly Northern Italy. It was an episode, called Northern Italy, June 2018, but there was some of the episode called Morocco, November 1917 in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that was updated. So you want to tell us the plot in one sentence, if you can?
I'll do my best. Indy is doing some double agent stuff, but mainly he's in a battle with Ernest Hemingway for the heart of this Italian girl. And then he kisses a nurse as he's getting healed and gets shoved off to Africa to then try to find who's smuggling weapons for the French army to someone else.
In Northern Africa. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's impressive.
Thank you. I almost forgot what happened in that second part there. Then it came to me.
Why, did you get to sleep on that? Or we'll talk about that later.
No, I didn't sleep.
Did you watch it at 2x speed?
So let's talk about
Oh, you
the
did.
Oh.
You traitor.
I watched it at 0.5 speed.
There you
just
go.
to spite you.
A real trooper to make up for lost time.
Yeah, exactly. Just balancing out the universe. Thank you, Bobo. All right, so let's go around and just calling out that D Tungsten. It was my bad. I didn't get the word out to him in time to watch this. But if you have any recollections of this, D Tungsten, because you said you had watched this when it originally aired, feel free to chime in. But we're just gonna do like one thing we really liked about this episode as a whole, and one thing we didn't like about it as a whole. Let's start with Bobo. What's something you did actually enjoy about either one part of this or both parts of Tales of the Innocents in Italy and Africa?
I'll be playing the role of Ashley this week. Good. Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize you hated it that much.
Well, I'll say I kind of liked in the second episode or second half or whatever the second part of this thing was. I actually did feel some tension toward the end when he said there's a different color of sand in people's boots. Totally. I was actually like, okay, I'm actually curious to see who's got it in their boots here.
Awesome.
That's it.
Oh, wow.
I thought there's going to be more.
I'm done.
I will say, that's pretty much mine, is that in that second
I like that there were 2 different colors sand.
In that second half, when he's like trying to get away from the dinner and he's like looking for like where are the guns and he has to go in the cave. It felt much more like Indiana Jones.
Yes.
Indiana Jones like set piece or element from like it belonged in it felt like it belonged in Indiana Jones as opposed to
that
so much
second
of,
half was much more Indiana Jones. Yes.
yeah, as opposed to so much of the other stuff. Though I
Yeah.
didn't quite. I mean, I guess him and the woman. I did not understand why he was with the woman.
There was to escort her so that he could. It would believable that they needed a reason for him to be there to find out how the guns were being smuggled. So he was there as an escort. A reasonable, believable reason for why he was there was to be her escort as she was touring that area.
Yeah, because he was moving at regular speed, not 2 times speed.
Oh, that would explain why you missed some things.
Paul, what didn't you miss? Or would you have missed if they didn't have this in this episode?
So I really enjoyed seeing some recognizable people, especially in the first half with Jay Underwood, which he's the boy who could fly and a likable character.
So that is Ernest Hemingway. That's who that's
yes,
supposed to be, right?
yes.
Okay.
But he's also the non-likable character of Bug in Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck. Is he also the boy who wore tennis shoes, or the computer that wore tennis shoes? Is that the same actor?
No, that was Kurt. Yeah, Kurt Russell. Yeah.
Kurt Russell?
Was the boy who wore tennis shoes.
No way.
The computer who wore tennis shoes. Yes.
No, that can't be right. I must be thinking of something else then, because I know. Kurt
Unless
Russell
you're talking like a Disney Channel remake that I don't know.
Okay. I'll look this up.
It's Disney.
I also enjoyed seeing Smee, Anakin's mother, in that as the Italian mother of the woman they were trying to woo, from episode 1, 2, and 3. She was So that was fun seeing. Huh? Okay.
I didn't recognize her. I know what grandma you're talking about. I just didn't recognize her from anything.
Yeah. Star Wars episodes 1, 2, and 3. Anakin's mom.
Anakin. That the old grandma was Anakin's
not the old
mom?
grandma, the mother.
The mom. Oh, okay. I didn't.
The one who dropped the pasta on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Maybe she moved by too quickly for you to actually see who it was, because she did use a different accent.
Maybe, Paul. Maybe. Okay. Oh, you know what? So I don't think I saw this version. Kurt Russell was in a 1969 version of the computer or tennis shoes. I think I'm thinking of this 1995 version. Nope, that's with Kirk Cameron. That's where you guys were getting confused. Okay, I'm thinking of a different movie.
Okay,
I guess I must
maybe
be.
you're thinking of the infamous original Fantastic Four movie that was never officially released.
No,
because he was Johnny Storm in that.
I have to track this down now because this isn't it. This is like with the guy from Growing Pains' dad.
No, that's darn it! There were 3 of them.
Right?
Oh my gosh!
There were several of them. I don't know what it's called.
Not quite human. That's it.
Oh,
not quite human.
That could be it.
Which I would love to review, because I remember enjoying that as a kid. That was Disney Channel. Yeah.
But is that this? Yeah, that is this guy.
Yeah, it's Jay Underwood. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jay. Yes, exactly. See, I know what I'm talking about.
Do you?
I know what I'm talking about when we get to the things, when we talk about things we didn't like. But before we do that, D. Tungsten, talking about this episode, anything come to mind for you about this one? Do you think you saw it?
I think I did see it. It sounds vaguely familiar, but it's been 30 years or whatever, and it would have been fun to have watched it, because it's like the the project I'm doing with the DS9 stuff. Although I only watched like the first couple seasons of DS9 back in the day. I didn't watch the rest of it, so that's all going to be new for me coming.
Also, the Dominion Wars will be fun for you.
Yes, the Dominion Wars, right? Yes, I haven't seen that bit yet. But I did know there was a Dominion War, but I was aware of that, but I haven't seen it. I have seen a few episodes here and there, because I did see the Trouble with Tribbles episode, which I don't remember what was titled, but the one where they go back. I've seen that one, for example.
Okay.
But I don't want to get too into
Loved
the
when young Indiana Jones had trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it would have been nice to see that again.
Trials and Tribulation.
Well,
yes,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, D. Tungsten, for failing in that regard.
No, that's my fault. It's my fault.
No, it's my fault. I'm the captain. I have to take responsibility, so it's my fault. But I'm curious. What trouble did we have with this episode of Young Indiana Jones? Let's start with Paul.
Basically what you said before, I liked the last half. It felt more Indiana Jonesy with sneaking around. That first half I felt were the zany adventures of the not Indiana Jones, but
right.
It was I know they were trying to be light, but it didn't seem worth it. And I missed hearing the Wilhelm scream.
Nice. I gotta say that's pretty much mine as well. Oh, go ahead.
I will say one thing I was confused on in the first one, when he was pretending to be the one-armed soldier, he was getting shot at. First of all, why are they shooting at a one-armed guy that they know is their spy? And then when he's bringing all the people with him, who's shooting at them at that time?
How far did they go anyway? It looked like they ran out of a hallway in some building and ran about 20 feet, and then they're all hugging each other.
Yeah, well, it was like a little hill. Not much, but apparently there was gunfire from invisible people that we never saw or something.
I don't have answers for you, Paul.
Yeah.
And similarly, I don't have an answer as to why it seemed like that episode was going to start out at least as like a cool war episode where he's doing double agent stuff. And then it goes this dumb, so dumb. Like I mean, I've mentioned before, I loathe love triangles. And love triangles in the context of this episode just all the worst. And I saw that it was Ernest Hemingway coming from a mile away.
Right. I saw it at the beginning, and then it was like, well, it's been a while. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it is this other guy that they had the picture of.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, at least it's not, the boy who could fly. And then it turns out it is.
And it just irked me even more. That was neither of them. That she goes and marries someone. I was like, stop leading these guys on. Stop
well, he doesn't end up with her anyway. So
I don't care. Throughout this episode, this first half, speaking of Ashley, her line, she said I think in the last episode she said something that you didn't like his constant womanizing. I'm like, I didn't like his constant womanizing.
Oh, with all the nurses, I understand getting kissed by the one nurse, but all the other nurses giving them gifts and stuff.
What did she give him at the end? It looked like a little bag full of his
probably
or something.
Like food.
I don't know.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Breadsticks from the Olive Garden. I don't know.
I will say, that's another thing that I liked was the settings. Yes. I love the breadsticks, but it seemed like, okay, they went, it looked like they really did go to Venice for just 5 minutes of transition.
Yeah, right.
But I thought it was great, the settings in it. At least it grounded it in somewhat reality.
That's always nice with these, that they are in location. I just wish the content of the episodes were worthy of traveling there. But
I think,
Bobo, that leaves you. What did you hate most about this episode?
I'll just a quick sidestep. The writer was Jonathan Hales, I believe, who also wrote the screenplay for Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense because there was a lot of sand in both.
Yeah, I have here noted 1 minute 22 seconds. Jonathan Hales is now on my hate list. For anyone watching the live stream, these right here are my notes for Airplane. These are all my notes from this thing. About a full section and a half.
Why did you devote so much to it? Okay,
all right, so buckle your seatbelts, Dorothy.
I kept pausing it out of all the frustration that was building up.
All right, here we go.
I agree. The second thing was definitely better than the first part.
Mm-hmm.
But as you said, Francisco, around the 32-minute mark, where we quote unquote find out that Ernest is the other guy, Ernie. Did we not all seeing that coming from a mile away?
Exactly.
I mean, that's just standard. Actually, I wrote here standard sitcom pablum.
Right.
He helps his buddy out with this girl so he can beat the other guy, and then what? You're the other guy?
Yeah.
Who could have seen that coming? And then it just proceeds to take about 8 minutes of my life that I will never get back.
Yeah.
And when they go to sing and they throw like a shoe out the window, which I was actually entertained by briefly because I thought the lady threw a cat at one of them. I went back and it was just a shoe. Who throws a shoe, honestly? But I'm sitting there and I'm bored enough with this that I'm thinking, okay, if I'm writing this, where do I go with it? One of two ways. Either they fight to the death, which they're not going to do.
Yeah.
Or option two, they decide, we can't do this anymore. She'll have to pick between us. And then how do you get out of that? There's a third guy we never saw. And shocking, there's a third guy.
Yeah, one of the things that you need to do with this series is turn your brain off, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, I'm using it most of the time, so that's...
Oh, man.
But yeah, that was pretty brutal. Honorable mention to when they get captured around the 58-minute mark by whoever captured them.
Yeah.
And the guy was very nasty to them. He said, you take my country by force. You exploit my people. You degrade my religion. And you have nothing to say. And they're like, should we torture him with 1,000 cuts? And he says, they're not worthy of so noble a death.
Yes.
So it's like he's really entrenched in the idea he's going to kill these two. And then they'll say, well, can I have his last cigarette? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, go right ahead. Nothing could possibly go wrong.
No.
Like, just kill them already.
Okay,
Put me out of misery.
other honorable mention, they get away, and then somehow all the other people that were captured are on the horses, ready to go to escape with them. Wow, that happened.
That brings up the thing that I absolutely hate.
We already did your tragedy maker, but okay.
No, but you reminded me of when they're chasing a group. They'll kill everybody but the main star and maybe an person that they've introduced, and conveniently not kill them because we're going to capture them instead.
Yeah, so
doesn't make
silly.
Sense.
Yeah,
I'm also not excited because when that guy joined them in the second episode, I thought that was Paul F. Tompkins for a second. No.
Would he be alive? I guess he would be alive then, but
he would have been very, very young.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The Younger Adventures of Indiana Jones.
Wow.
Adventures of Paul F. Tompkins.
All right. Well, that leaves us with, we don't really do a final rating for these, but given if this were the only episode you'd seen, would you continue watching the series from this point forward? Bobo, I imagine very much so. You definitely want to keep watching, right?
You know, this may surprise you, but no.
Well
I don't
done.
know.
Well done. Paul, how about you?
I've been so indoctrinated into these that I would absolutely keep watching it now. I mean, maybe it's getting better. Maybe I'm becoming the frog in the boiling water where I don't mind as much now.
Yeah.
But I definitely, even if it was just the first one, I would watch the next one hoping that it would be better, you know? And so the second one picked up, and yeah, I would watch the next one.
I feel like I'd only watch it because I'm now committed. I just want to finish the train wreck and hope that there's some salvageable bits in this. I did like honorable mention on the like list. They did a lot more sort of future caring, I guess I'll say, of him saying, oh, I want to be called Indy. Yeah, my friends call me Indy, and I'm named after the dog. And they did a lot of that sort
and
of
I want to study archaeology.
Yes. It's like, okay, I'm glad you're finally getting around to this, but
16 chapters into it, you finally get into it.
Finally get the exposition we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh, goodness.
And by the way, the next episode or next chapter is called Masks of Evil, which take place in Istanbul and Transylvania. So that sounds interesting.
Oh, that does sound interesting, actually. Very cool. Okay, well, then that definitely intrigues me, but I feel like, 16 times bitten, all the more shy. So I guess we'll wrap it up there. Thank you very much, Bobo, D. Tungsten, and for you guys and Paul and myself. We bid you all a whoopah. There you go.
Poor Wilhelm.
All right. So everyone watching, thank you all.
It's
so
Shep
much.
Willie.
What?
Is it?
Willie.
Yes. Shep Willie does. That's Shep Willie's voice.
Yeah. Free Willie.
No, Shep Woolley.
Oh, Woolly, like woolly mammoth?
Yes, like as in the guy that did the Flying Purple People Eater.
That's the one.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
I thought that he was one of the Stooges. Shep.
That's Shep.
Yeah.
Shemp.
Shemp. Oh.
Yeah. Shemp. This is Sheb. S-H-E-B.
Oh, like where you get whipped when you're bad. You go out to the shed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Close.
Almost.
Close.
All right.
There we go. I'm timing this somewhat okay. That was when I was off. Thank you all.
Slow and boring.
You could just say it yourself, you know. Oh, I got
Slow and boring.
Save my vocal cords.
Magic maker.
Wow. Thank you, everyone who's here at the end. We're going to be still recording our spiritual speculation, but that's bonus material if you'd like access to that and our backlog of it, as including our edit mode outtakes and a bunch of other sort of offhanded reviews, some commentaries. Then definitely consider becoming a patron. Again, you could do that via Patreon, Subscribestar, PayPal. Just go to retrorewindpodcast.com/support. But we're going to be ending the stream now. So thank you, everyone. Oaz, John, I think Drew's not here anymore. Let's see. Redeem,
Whoever left
here.
is in the chat.
Everyone who's still here. Thank
All
you so
7
much
people,
for hanging
including
out.
Commander Root.
Oaz, thank you again so much for the raid. That was very kind of you. Commander Root's gone, Paul.
I know.
Oh, okay.
That was a callback. Sorry.
I forgot about it. Anyway.
I still think the funniest moment is when Ashley subbed him and gifted him a sub.
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you all so much. And will you guys join me in a stream face for everyone?
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Make up your mind, Fall.
Why? Just do it.
No,
End it.
No, I'm not going to
End
it
it.
until you give me a stream
Well, then
face.
I'll just keep moving. It'll never end.
Not helpful, Volvo.
Is this another Edna or no?
No, it's not.